Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again. Did you with a video. Now, this video right here is about the late, great actor and comedian John Witherspoon, and may he rest in peace. And I send my condolences out to his son and also the Witherspoon family and everybody that love John Witherspoon, whether blood related or people that seen him on cinema, on TV. Now, when I first seen John Witherspoon, it was when I was young. It was during the time that he was making a movie, Hollywood Shuffle, with Kenny and Ivory Wayans and also Robert Townsend. A very good movie. You might want to check it out if you've never really seen it. This guy been funny since day one. But you know, as surely as we live, we all must what? Die one day. And that's a sad thing about life. But what I said, like I said in the last video, is to live your life fulfilled. Live your life to the fullest. And I feel that Mr. Witherspoon did that and a whole lot more. Now, he was born in Detroit, Michigan. Big shout out to everybody in D-Town in 1942, January the 27th. He died October the 29th, 2019, a few days ago. And I would have did the video a few days ago, but due to the fact how I work in my job and other obligations I had, I was a couple days late on the video. But I made myself a promise that I would make the video about John, because not only did he touch my life, but I'm sure that he touched some of you all lives also, especially with the fight that took place in the movie Friday, directed by DJ Pooh and Ice Cube, when Craig, who's played by Ice Cube, had a fight with Tiny Zeus Lister, Debo, for those who know his real name. But anyway, when the fight first took off and everything, when they first started fighting, Craig felt that really he couldn't beat up Debo. A lot of people were scared of Debo in the movie. He was a neighborhood bully. And right before they started fighting, Craig reached to pull out a gun and put it to Debo's head. And basically, Debo said, "What you gonna do with that gun besides make me mad?" And Craig and his mom, Craig's dad, played by John Witherspoon, and also his mom was telling Craig to put the gun down, put the gun down. And that really stuck to me. You know, even when I first seen the movie Friday, I'm sure that's some of you all classic movies, also by Mr. Ice Cube, but also starring John Witherspoon, Chris Tucker, and a lot of other people, also Faison Love, a lot of people. But he said, "Put the gun down, son. Put the gun down, son. You know, you will live to fight another day." And that stuck to me right there. And I'm sure that a lot of people not only respected Mr. Witherspoon as a comedian, but also looked up to him as an uncle. And for those who didn't have dads or any father figures around, as a father figure, because the way they portrayed him on TV. And also in the movie Boomerang, where he played the crazy dad, where he had to let the suits coordinate, talking about beating the coochie up and everything. And also in the movie Vampire in Brooklyn. But on his last video, and I felt it very weird, and I had to speak on it because a lot of people watch things and they don't really see the subliminal messages inside of these certain videos. But I felt it was kind of weird, the way he was speaking from, because, I had watched a lot of his cooking shows on his channel, on his YouTube channel and everything. And I'm sure that a lot of you all probably didn't even know he had a YouTube channel. I been knew. But he always did a little talking segment, but he never went in depth like he did, and especially to this degree. So I made a few notes of what he was basically saying on his last video when it was called Poor Man's Gumbo. And I love gumbo. Matter of fact, cooked something just not too long ago. But anyway, it wasn't poor man. It had shrimp, everything in there, crab and everything. But anyway, big shout out to John for teaching the people that. But he also said that we have a state of emergency going on. And for those who don't know about a state of emergency, let me just enlighten you. That can mean all kinds of calamity, catastrophes, and chaos going on from coast to coast, north, south, east, and west. He said the first topic, Amber Geiger shooting Bodum Jean in his apartment in Dallas. And basically, you go back and check this video and reference it, basically not word for word verbatim, but pretty much that's what all he said. He said a man was sitting in his apartment in Dallas eating ice cream, and a lady walked in there, mistakenly thought that this was her apartment. He said, "I don't know how she got her apartment mistaken, because no way I'm gonna walk in my neighbor house and think that it's my house, and then shoot the guy while he was eating ice cream." He said, "This make me not want to eat ice cream no more." So he was basically calling out the Dallas shooting with Amber Geiger, who ended up getting 10 years, and then one of the star witnesses and everything in the case, Joshua Brown, I think that's his name, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's his name. I did a video on him. Joshua Brown, who they said was involved in drugs and everything, who clearly didn't want to testify. He was crying on the stand. He winds up dead a couple of days later after Amber Geiger is sentenced. And they try to say it was a hit. Some guys come up there to try to buy drugs, robbed them or whatever. And something went bad with a drug transaction, which I still find it hard to believe. And notice we don't hear anything about that story no more. That's why you got to keep your eyes open and stay focused. There's so many distractions out here. But you would think that the people who's supposed to be awake will be awake in this time of chaos. But people are still asleep and didn't even take no Tylenol PM. But he also stated the fact that you're not even safe in your own house. He was talking about basically a black man, which is stuck out to me. But a lot of people just seeing the antics that he do and everything, him just cooking instead of listening to the man. You know, and I'm like, well, you know, as I was watching this video, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, well, he's really speaking from a different place. You know how people say certain things and they'll wind up getting into an accident, they're dying, or they'll say something strange the last time you see them, then all of a sudden you hear they're dead, or they might tell you, look, I love you. They never told you they loved you before. And you're like, huh? Then all of a sudden you hear something that happened to them. That's what this video felt like. It felt kind of eerie because how can you make a video then you wind up dead, allegedly dying from cardiac arrest a few hours later? And then also the second topic, he said Popeye's running out of chicken sandwiches and everything, which I don't know how you can run out of damn chicken sandwiches. I don't understand that when it's chickens every damn way. You feel me? So that right there was kind of a lightweight topic or whatever. But he also went on to one of the main things, if you ask me. We spoke about Bill Cosby being in jail almost a year, and he is worth $400 million. Then John goes on to say, what happened to high-end lawyers? Like, what happened to all these high-end lawyers? The guy that played in he was like a TV show, came out in I think the late 70s or the 80s. His name was Robert Blake, the actor. And he killed somebody. I don't know if it was his wife, his mistress, or somebody. And he ended up beating the charges also. And Bill Cosby, and I'm not taking up for Cosby by any means. I'm just trying to speak in a balanced perspective. You know, and I don't agree. First of all, let me say this. I don't agree with nobody raping anybody, touching men or women or whatever. But, you know, sometimes things ain't always what they seem to be. But he also says, what happened to all the high-end lawyers? The lawyers that got Michael Jackson out. The lawyer that got O.J. Simpson out. O.J. walking around, but he had to go sit back down because he messed up. So he basically saying that they really had some against Bill. And he's also saying this also, that these women got together on Bill and R. Kelly. He said R. Kelly was one of his favorite singers, which it stuck out to me because nobody do not want to talk about R. Kelly. Even some of the people that used to be in videos with him, some of the people that even R. Kelly helped make money with. And he was basically saying in so many ways that these women got together and railroaded these two guys. And then he also said that he would give Bill Cosby 2 extra years for messing with these ugly women. He said basically, damn Cosby, he must have been hard up. And if I was the judge, I would have gave him 2 years for fucking with those ugly ass bitches. It stuck out to me, but the point is, he said that what happened to all these high-end lawyers that got OJ off, lawyers that got Michael Jackson off, lawyers that got all these people off, but when it come to Bill Cosby, he didn't kill nobody, whether he raped somebody or not, you know, and I'm not here to convict nobody. I'm not a judge. But anyway, I found it very hard and very strange that he would say that and people didn't really catch what he was saying. So he's basically saying they just wanted Bill Cosby locked up, period, because we know a lot of people who have money and was guilty as sin and still got out. And then he goes on to say also about Trump with those 2 old white hoes following his ass all over the country. And that's what he was basically saying. He said one of them was a porno star. We already heard of that one. And the other one was a Playboy bunny. Trump gave them $150,000 just to go away. He said, I'm the president, now go away. That was very strange also because, you know, they've been trying to sweep those allegations, those rumors under a rug for a long time. And for a celebrity with John Witherspoon status to come out and say that to the public, you know, maybe it may have ruffled some feathers. Now, I'm not saying that this is a conspiracy because I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I just look a little deeper into certain things. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, when the video first started, I know surely as we live, we must die one day. I'm just hoping that if he did go, that it was natural and wasn't caused by outside forces because we know they have things that can make you go into cardiac arrest. They have things that can make you have a heart attack. It's a silent killer. Look that up. But anyway, now I'm wishing that it was natural. I wish it never happened, but I'm not God. But what I'm saying is this right here. For him to say that while he was in the midst of just cooking gumbo, it stuck out to me. And then the fact that he would die a few hours later, I mean, that shit rings a lot of bells. And I was just waiting for people like, okay, ain't nobody caught this yet? Ain't nobody going to speak on this? Now, I don't know if people don't want to sound like conspiracy theorists. I don't know if they don't want people to try to ridicule them, but like I said, no matter what you say, people are going to always have something negative to say no matter what you say. You can talk about Jesus and God and saving people and feeding the homeless. Somebody's still going to have a problem with it. And we don't worry about those people. But what I'm trying to say is this right here. It wouldn't have been no different if that was me, you, or anybody else who's basically just trying to express how they feel. And if people are getting taken out for their beliefs, we need to talk about that. Not saying that this is what happened in Mr. Witherspoon's case, but isn't it ironic? Now, we know that he was an older man, 77 years old, would have been 78 come January the 27th, you know. And I know some of us wish we could live forever, but I just find it very ironic after saying all this stuff about Amber Geiger, the Popeye's chicken, and then going in depth with the Bill Cosby situation, and also with the R. Kelly situation and how basically Bill was targeted and that he's worth all this money, and then putting it out there where, you know, we done seen people with way less money than Bill Cosby get off of serious charges for molesting children, for rape, for murder, and someone was even on camera and still beat the charge. So why is Bill worth all this money, almost $500 million, sitting in jail? Basically because they want him to sit in jail. And also, you know, and then he basically ended with everyone want to stop the Mexicans from coming to the United States about building this wall, this Trump wall. And he basically said in his joking fashion, like he always do, you know, I built a wall in my backyard, call Trump and them down and show him how to build a wall. But I want to know what you all think about this. But like I said, you know, this is not no way to try to make this a conspiracy theory or anything like that. But that's just like if I make a video and I start talking about certain individuals and y'all hear something happen to me about 3 or 4 hours later. Wouldn't it raise alarms? I mean, if it don't, it should, because if it don't, a lot of us are still asleep and it's time to wake up. But like I said, you know, if you live your life the way you want to live it, first of all. But to those who have ambitions and those who have goals, you know, strive for your goals, achieve whatever it is that you set out to be. All your goals, anything that you dream of, it can come true if you hold on to your dreams and you mold it and you keep crafting it and you keep pushing forward. That's the thing about this. You see what I'm saying? And from him to go all the way from Detroit, Michigan to Hollywood shows that anybody can make it no matter where you come from, no matter what skin color you are. But let me know what you all think about this situation, because it's very sad that we lost not only Pops, John Witherspoon, who was an uncle, like an uncle figure, a father figure to people, but we lost a great man. You feel me? We lost a great man who brought smiles to many of people's faces, including mine. And I just had to do a video to speak on this man, you know, because I felt like he was trying to enlighten the people and the people just didn't really catch it. But sometimes people don't catch it till you way gone years later. It's like, before I go, it's like when you hear a song and you hear something that you never heard in that song before, even though you probably listened to that song for 10 or 20 years, but it says something different. And at that moment, it speaks to you different. That's kind of how these situations are. Let me know what you think. If you like the video, push that like button. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Definitely share this video with your family and friends. Until next time, you all stay blessed. And whatever dream you have, keep pushing toward that dream. And if there's something that you want to tell the people, don't be afraid to get your own platform, your own channel, and express how you feel. But keep your eyes open, because there's a lot of tricks and deceptions out here. And rest in peace, Mr. John Witherspoon. I'm out.